Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar on Connect One, a web-hosted security and energy management services. Connect One is a great service that provides some enhanced remote control management and notification for the ELK M1 controls. And so we're going to be going over Connect One today, getting you familiar with what it has to offer, and also giving you some information on how you can get started with Connect One. Throughout the presentation, if you happen to have questions, we would encourage you to ask those questions. There is a questions box where you can type in your questions. That's going to be located on the GoToWebinar control panel on the right side of your screen. So please make use of that. We do want to make this as beneficial for you as possible, and we're happy to answer the questions that you have. We will get to just as many questions as we can throughout the webinar. If we have questions that we're just running out of time, or maybe your question is more involved and requires a follow-up, we will be providing that after the webinar. So we'll definitely get your questions answered one way or the other. We are going to be providing a follow-up email, which you will get early next week. That's going to include a copy of the presentation that we're using today, as well as a link to the recording of this webinar and any other resources we feel you'll find helpful. If you are going to be attending ISC West in April, we would encourage you to come check out our booth. ELK's booth is 6035. We're also going to have some materials on Connect One, and Mike and Sam from Connect One are going to be there as well, so you can meet with those guys and talk to them about their solution. So I at this point would like to introduce Mike Symon, who is the co-founder of Connected Technologies, which is the company behind Connect One, and also Sam Rizzo, who is in sales at Connected Technologies. So let's talk just a little bit about the M1. We're just going to give you some overview information here on our control system. It is a security and automation control, which means that it provides full rock-solid security. We also provide automation of a number of different things like lighting, thermostats, that sort of thing. So you can have within one system your security, your fire, and also like your automation, and we even do light access control. The M1 provides a great deal of control and scheduling capabilities. We're very flexible and integration friendly. You'll find that we have a lot of different partners that you can work with, so that you can choose the lighting or the thermostats or the locks, or these products that you're comfortable with, that you like, and use those with the M1. We do have a pretty vast expansion capability with the system, being able to go up to 208 zones. Up to 144 of those zones could be wireless. We also have very flexible programming with our ELK software and our rules engine. You're able to create these whenever and then type statements that tell the system what to do in different events, and that is a very powerful programming tool. So it does allow you to do a lot of different kinds of customized operations. So I've mentioned a few things that M1 can integrate with, but this just gives you kind of an overview. And we're looking here at a residential application, but as we go out throughout this presentation, you will start to see, especially with the addition of the Connect One, some of the commercial benefits of the M1 and ways that you can use it in commercial applications. But security again, also lighting and thermostats, but we can also control just about anything electrical, small appliances, electric water heaters, pumps. We can do leak detection and cut the water off with a shut-off valve. We can also control doors and gates and do some access control, which again can tie into the commercial applications. Blinds and shades, garage doors, just all different kinds of things that you can control from the M1 system. So what we're talking about today is a cloud-based or a web-based service from Connect One, and so that uses what we refer to as the M1 Cloud, which is something that we've set up on our end to allow this type of service to work with the M1. So it allows you to access the system from either inside or outside the home or business through a third-party service provider like ConnectOne. And the benefit of that, just on the surface, is that it eliminates this special setup and having to get into the router and do port forwarding and all those things that can be complicated or difficult to deal with the IP integration. So using a service like ConnectOne is going to eliminate the need for that. The device that you have to add to the M1 system to support the cloud-based service is the M1 XEP. That is our Ethernet interface. It connects to the M1 and then connects to the network, and that's going to allow remote control access to the system. So to use a cloud-based service like ConnectOne, you do need to have an M1 XEP with a firmware version 2.0 or later, and that is what we are currently shipping. So if you were to buy a new M1 XEP today, you would get an XEP that has this version already in it, but something you should be aware of if you're looking to add this service to an existing system. So here's just an idea of how this whole cloud thing works. You've got the M1 with the M1 XEP that's connected to a network that's able to connect to the M1 cloud, which consists of an M1 cloud server at ELK and also a server from the service provider, which again is ConnectOne. And so through that cloud, we're able to use a number of different devices for the end user and also the installer to be able to configure and manage accounts and also control the system. So now I would like to hand the presentation over to Mike and Sam so that they can tell you more about ConnectOne.
Thank you, Amy. This is Mike Symon, and we really appreciate everybody being online for this webinar. Thanks very much. We're going to discuss a little bit. Whoops, wrong way. Sorry. No, you're going to. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about how we operate, a little bit about us, give you a better feel for everything. With the M1 panel, one of the things that we're very proud of is that we are not in the middle of the communication path to the central station. We're a separate path to our servers. So if there is an alarm condition, we're not a relay to the central station. The call would go directly to the central station. The data about that activity would come to our servers. But we don't, the alarm signal does not first come to us and then relay to the central station, and I think that's a very important ingredient to how we operate. This is you, Sam.
Some of the benefits of the M1 Cloud and ConnectOne are user code management for the end user. It's simplified and makes it easy for the end user to be able to maneuver throughout the cloud. Also manage multiple sites from a single login. It's very simple and easy to manage all their sites at the same time. Expanded email notification options. There are several different options as we go forward. We'll show you some of those options as to how communications can be sent to multiple users. Login and control systems from virtually any web-enabled device. It's a powerful feature within our cloud service that allows ease of access to the application. And allows for stickier customers because of the increased value the customer can be able to appreciate every time they access and use the application. They're going to appreciate the value that you offer to them. And it greatly simplifies the network setup. As Amy had said earlier, it's just plug into the router without having to reconfigure on site. And it also allows the opportunity for additional monthly recurring revenue streams for you to generate revenue throughout your organization.
All right, this is Mike again. Just a little bit about who we are. As you can see the picture there, we've been in the trenches with all you guys as far as Back in 1975, I started a company called StandGuard in the Chicagoland area. We were an installation, service, and sales provider. And we've, about a year and a half ago, I sold the company to focus on Connect One, and the company is Connected Technologies. We've been using the service at StandGuard for quite a few years, which gave us a very good background on how to sell both the service, the cloud service, as well as the pricing structure. So we have a background in the industry. We really enjoy having security dealers call us and ask us questions about different, how Connect One can be used for different applications. Pretty much we've been there, done that, and we love talking to you guys. There's our arrow there. Thank you. Yeah, this one, and one here. One of the things that we really enjoy about when we were doing installations and using Connect One with our customers was the simplification of it. One of the things that that Sam hit on was the fact that when you're talking to the IT departments, they get nervous if we have to open up ports in the router for incoming data. As we get more into this, you'll see that that's not something that's necessary with the M1 and Connect One. And we're also a complete service, so that that was one of the other things that we really enjoyed about using Connect One, was the fact that we could use it for just about every application. So the one application, that's why we have the one there. The one application of Connect One can work through pretty much all the projects that you're involved in. The other thing that's nice is that the end user, and we'll get into a little bit more, the dealers can also manage the system if they want for the customer, but all sites can be seen on one screen and from any web-enabled device. So being able, if you have a customer with multiple locations, they can view all those locations on one screen without having to log out of one and log into another location. Some of the advantages of the cloud, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with this, it's very cost effective. It reduces the cost of overhead. There's no software that has to be loaded or installed, purchased, or supported. We do all of that. There's no server setup at the end user site. Being that we're in the security industry also, we understand the security needs for protecting all the data, and everything we do is has a lot of high security features revolving around it. We have multiple servers across the country, so there's plenty of redundancy. One thing nice about cloud service is that it's always backed up. We're maintaining all that, so it takes that away from anybody else's responsibility. That's our responsibility, and everything is always up to date. And once again, it's convenient access from any web-enabled device. We work with all the through all the popular browsers and smartphones. And there's also scalable options. We may not be able to get into all that today, but if you give us a call and you want to talk further about the Connect One service, be happy to discuss the scalable options that allow you to not only be able to offer this to any size application, but also how you can set it up and create additional recurring revenue streams. Once again, we talked about the security levels, the gold standard encryption that we use, higher than a lot of the bank applications that are out there. There's no licensing fees. And we also have triple identification. It's nice for not only for security, but also for redundant. You can have multiple users with the name Bob at the same location. because we have triple identification access. And if you'll notice on the right there, we have the CAPTCHA, which comes into play after 3 failed attempts to log in, and after 10 attempts, the URL is blanked out. So it's not something that where somebody can get online and just start hunting around for the proper password, username, and things like that, which can be done relatively quickly with computers. It's pretty difficult to do it with Connect One. Once again, one interface for all the applications, viewing, managing, and controlling security, access control, HVAC, lighting, critical temperature monitoring. All that we'll get into a little bit deeper as we go on here. For one or multiple occasions, all on one screen. So we have a lot of applications that I'm sure that you guys get involved in, where you'll do a business as well as a home. And it's nice having one interface that for training not only your technicians, salespeople, but also the end user. You don't have to say, well, this is your application for your home, and we got a different one for your business. With Connect One, that's not the case any longer. Universal browsers, mobile applications we talked about. Sam, this is you.
Okay, this is Sam again. I'm going to walk through some of the screenshots as to how the user interface is going to interact for you and your customer. Again, it's one interface for all devices. It's simple. Just click on the area that you need to have access to for whatever necessary function needs to be performed. It's browser-based. Phone and tablet applications are all compatible. Multi-user login. You can have as many users logged in as the customer requires to have logged in to be able to function with the system. It's completely controllable through permissions and by application. So you can have it set up by application, function by area restriction, by schedule restriction, or by network wish list. So it's very programmable for the consumer to be able to control and maneuver throughout the system that they need to have access to. There's also a complete audit trail. So in the event that a user gets in and adds a user or changes the permissions of a user, and you find later that user's code is no longer working, be able to see in the audit trail who went in and made whatever changes to it and find out why. Okay, and you see up in the upper left-hand corner, the user interface can be branded with your name on it, so that every time the customer logs in, they're going to see your name and your color scheme. Connect One does not in any way want to interfere with the relationship between you and your customer, so we promote you in any possible way. You provide us with your logo, and we'll embed it right there on the site. This is the activity page. It shows real-time security, access, energy management, any event information right on the screen from all sites that the user has permissions to access, so they can see all their sites at the same time. You can watch any relevant video camera views as well. Again, all at the same time. Nothing needs to be done. It automatically populates the page as different events occur. And as we said, you can see all the sites that they have access to at the same time, whether they're across the campus or across the country. You can see them all right there. Video verification. What we're doing with video verification is link any event that the M1 panel has the ability to process can be linked to up to 5 cameras. And the snapshots will be acquired and stored on our cloud for up to a year and be associated with that event. The event plus the video can be viewed on screen and also sent via email and text. And you can view the snapshot plus the event through a live button on the notification as it gets sent to you. You can see live video of what happened there. Or with certain DVR and NVR on site, you'll be able to, from the notification, see a clip of what happened 10 seconds prior to the event and 45 seconds after the event. And any associated report that has video associated with the event, you'll be able to click on the camera icon at the same time that report is reviewed and see what the snapshot was associated with the event at any time throughout the year that that event is stored. From a security standpoint, this is how you can arm and have zone status controlled all on one site. So if it's a user that is managing multiple properties, or maybe it's a park district or school district type of application where you have an admin person that's going to allow access for maybe a maintenance person in the field or whatever that may happen to be, they don't need to know where the keypad is or anything about it. They can access any keypad they have permissions to access and disarm the system or rearm it in any configuration that they need to, as well as from that same site they can bypass zones if that's what the necessary permission or application is going to require. From an access control standpoint, again, any building or any facility can be accessed that the user has permissions to access. Can lock and unlock doors very simply, control the outputs on the ELK panel very simply through the Connect One application. Emergency lockdown gives the ability to lock down all doors within the application that they need to have locked down in one facility or all the facilities all at the same time, and it will deactivate select users and only allow first responders or maybe key admin personnel access during that lockdown condition, whether it may be a school locking down, maybe it's a campus that has an environmental condition they need to lock down, whatever it is. You have the ability to control that very simply through the Connect One application. And you can see the lockdown button is very accessible and prominent on the page, so you don't have to hunt for it. Very simply in red, lockdown, and then whatever facilities need to be locked down. From a management standpoint, the in-out reports can all be generated, and it spans all locations. So any report that needs to be generated can be configured by the report type, whatever events need to be logged, and you can select whatever sites you want those reports to be generated from, as well as maybe you want an individual or a group of users or all users. You have the ability to select that all at the same time you're selecting the report. And you can batch download users to multiple locations all at the same time. So if you do have a customer that has multiple locations, you put the users into the Connect One application and select the sites that you want those users to have access to, and very simply send users to multiple sites with just one click of the mouse. And as I said earlier on the reporting, that if there's video associated with that any event, you can see on the screenshot on the left, there's images of a camera. Just click that camera icon, and you'll see the image that was captured at the time that event occurred. Again, you can schedule access doors to unlock, again, from the same application. Energy management, very simply controlled, again, right on the same screen. You can monitor and control thermostats. You can program thermostats to follow occupancy areas and maybe different areas within the panel. And when the warehouse area is armed, you can have the thermostats in that area fall back into an energy savings mode. And when the system is disarmed in the morning or whatever later, you can have it follow back into the normal operating mode to deliver some sort of a return on investment back to the customer. You can have the thermostats changed and have it logged for viewing on a report at any time that information needs to be retrieved. And you can monitor and control lighting in different applications, again, all from the same screen. Critical temperature monitoring is, again, another function that you can view current temperature and alarm status, again, all on the same screen in various areas of the building. You can have each sensor has its own configurable high and low threshold setting, so that maybe this area needs to be monitored different from another one. It's very simply programmable within the application. Historic temperature logging can be very simply set up within the system that will satisfy regulatory requirements. Maybe it's an area that needs to have the temperature logged every hour, every half hour. It's programmable where you can configure the report to be generated and have it logged for every half hour, every hour, once a day, twice a day, 4 times a day, or 6 times a day. So it allows for a lot of regulatory bodies to have that satisfied automatically, as opposed to walking the perimeter of the confines of the facility with a clipboard and logging it manually. And again, each sensor has its own configurable logging interval, so it allows for a lot of flexibility within the historic reporting. And you can show the temperature, as you see on the screen, you can show the temperature throughout the time period, and the top box shows a graphic layout of where the temperature had risen or fallen within the programmed area of time. Notifications, okay, can be instant and sent by email or by text, and they can be specific to any event the panel can generate, and their customizable messages can be sent and attached to the notification at the same time, depending on what that is and what notification needs to be sent. Any video linked to that event will be sent at the same time through an email or through a text. And automated daily and weekly reports can also be sent to whoever needs to be receiving them throughout the application. Any report can be sent that way. On-screen pop-ups are also can be sent through and associated with any event. If it's a guard service area or maybe an admin person that's monitoring a facility for certain access or temperature, whatever it may happen to be, an on-screen pop-up can come to that individual automatically and let them know what's going on within that area or whatever that report needed to have notification of. And any event that any notification that has been sent can be shared, also the video, through email or text, and the person you're sharing it to doesn't necessarily have to be a Connect One user within the system. If an assigned individual is a first responder for a temperature condition maybe, and have video associated with it, and he's not able to respond, that image and that notification can be forwarded very simply by putting in the other individual's text or email address, and that notification would be sent to them. If there's video associated with it, they would be able to see live video at the same time they receive that notification, so they can see what's going on when they're responding to the condition. Some other dealer features are you can view and support all your accounts on a provided dealer portal, so you don't have to toggle in and out from one customer to another. You can see all the accounts that you have activated with Connect One all on a single provided portal. We will provide you with a customizable web-in login information, so you can hand that to your web administrator, and anytime the customer logs into Connect One, they go through your site to do that. And maybe that's a landing page where you want to promote additional services that you offer. Maybe it's a news page that you want to just have some sort of news bulletin go out to customers. But however you want to deal with that, the customer never leaves your site. They will. It's not a link. It's directly embedded into your website to connect into Connect One. So that allows you a lot of latitude for promotional activity. Smart Test is a feature that we offer where without regard for how large the application is, a single technician with any web-enabled device, a tablet, smartphone, laptop, whatever he's walking around with, he can walk test the entire installation at the same time. He can activate outputs, he can arm disarm the system, look at video, work access doors, do whatever he needs to do by himself. So that makes walk testing the system as well as service calls a lot easier when one technician can do it without coordinating with multiple techs and walkie-talkies at a keypad. Smart Show is another feature that we offer to you where you can create individual demonstrations, virtual demonstrations, specific to the market that you're going to. So if it's a residential you can create a smart show that's a virtual demonstration for residential. It has virtual activity, virtual video, everything associated with it, and there's no hardware required. You don't have to set up a panel or install a panel to do that. It's all virtual. You also have the option, if it's a customer with multiple sites, you can set up another site that way and show them how easy it's going to be for them to access multiple sites from their application. Or maybe it's a customer with a single panel and multiple areas and partitions within that panel, where you can show them how they can access individual areas. So again, at no cost to you, you can set up individual market-specific demonstration sites. And all those sites have virtual video and virtual activity within them so that you can show the customer how the activity is going to generate. Some of the scalable options that you can create, different service plans and fees based upon the customer's needs or budget. For example, maybe you want to let the customer manage all their applications. That's up to you. Or if you want to manage all of them, that's again another option. Or if you want to blend it, let the customer manage their own users, and you're going to manage the reports and charge appropriately. That's entirely up to you how you want to configure the application based upon their needs and their budget. When you set an account up within Connect One, if you're going to allow them to manage their users themselves, you can determine the number of users that you're going to allow them to have access into the Connect One application. When they achieve that number, they're going to receive a notification that tells them they've exceeded their usage and they need to contact you. And maybe you want to put a different price on that, whether you're charging by a month, by the user. It's entirely up to you. We don't charge you for that, but you can scale that up depending on the application that you're selling, as well as setting different permissions options within the customer, and maybe you want to charge appropriately for that as well. This is a snapshot of all the compatible products with the Connect One interface. You can see the ELK M1 Gold panel, the M1 EZ8, the variety of different video types, systems and lighting and heating and air conditioning. I'll stay on this for a minute so you can see if maybe there's something that you're looking to, that you're specifically using to be sure that it's going to be compatible with us. We offer 3 different service levels depending on what the needs of the customer and the budget that you're trying to stay within. Our Essential package is a single user in the Connect One application, only 10 days worth of event storage, no management functions, but it does allow real-time view of the activity. You can control video and arming the system, all the basic functions. It's compatible with any the application that we have on any web-enabled device, and there's an additional charge with the Essential package for video, for lighting control, or for temperature control. But it's a skinny down version to allow interactive services that the customer may not need to have all the services for. Our Essential Plus package is an unlimited number of users within Connect One, 30 days worth of event storage, and has a lot of the management functions except for the automated daily reports. Allows for viewing of the live activity, arming and disarming the system. There's an additional charge for logging of access granted and access denied. If they want that to appear on the report, there's an additional charge. But inclusive of the Essential Plus is live video, temperature and lighting control at no additional cost. The Pro package is an unlimited number of users, a full year's worth of event storage, does have all the management functions, the automated reporting, does have the video, temperature, and lighting control built in at no cost. Again, there's an additional charge for the access control reporting if it's to be logged. It also has the video verification, where we will store 100 events per month at no additional charge. If the needs go beyond 100 event storage per month, there will be an additional charge for going to a larger storage capacity on that. So you can contact us and we'd be happy to provide you with the specific pricing for each of the individual service levels. A little bit about value selling very quickly is to sell at a higher price point than the competition is very simply to offer the consumer more value than they otherwise thought they wanted. As I hope we accomplished through this presentation was to show you all the different services that ConnectOne offers to your customer. I'm sure that we blew their perspective out of their mind as to what they thought they were going to get for the dollars that you were going to charge them. So again, the price becomes less and less relevant. And again, it differentiates you from the competition in the market by offering additional services. Something I want to talk about real quick about the difference between web-based and web-hosted. You're starting to hear a lot of conversation in the industry and in electronics as a whole about the differences between those. Web-based type application is where all the programming and function resides on the customer's site, on the customer's servers, and web-hosted is what resides off-site on our servers that are constantly backed up and supported on a regular basis. In a web-based environment, if that server crashes or anything happens on site, all their data is lost. Whereas in a web-hosted application, everything is redundant, backed up, and is completely supported on an ongoing basis. So the basic difference there, both do offer interactive services where you're going to be able to have access to the system through a web-enabled device, but they're radically different with regards to the level of security provided. Very quickly, some residential benefits is that we work with the M1 Easy 8 systems as well as the larger M1 Gold system, and it allows detailed email reporting, latchkey events, alarm activity. Again, if the customer has a second home or a vacation home, you can offer remote access for arming and disarming, checking the temperature and controlling the temperature if they're going to the summer home, monitor and look at cameras if they want to see that. And again, very simply, has the same interface that they can use for their home and their business. You don't have to sell something, and this is what you're going to use for your home, something separate from their business. It's one interface that's going to work every application. Commercial application with multiple tenants. You can manage and monitor all applications from anywhere. Management can control common areas, and tenants can control their own individual areas, so it allows a lot of flexibility.
And that's all with one control panel. So if you have one M1 control panel, you can break it up into multiple tenants, and it becomes very, very cost effective. I don't think anybody will be able to touch your price if you go into a multi-tenant building and you take one M1 panel and use it for multiple tenants as well as the common area.
Commercial with multiple sites, you can view and control, as we talked earlier, multiple sites from one screen makes it very convenient for the end user. Very easily managed either on-site or remotely, because any web-enabled device is going to access the application. They're going to have very quick access to whatever they need to do. And by having an access control system, it's very easy to manage employee turnover, even if it's a fast food type environment. It's much more cost effective to be able to take a user in or out of the system than it is to retool locks on a regular basis. And it allows you the ability to control all of that, as we've talked about earlier, from any web-enabled device. Some very quick, simple steps to set up an account in the ConnectOne with M1, with an M1 control, is to establish a dealer account with ConnectOne. Ensure the ELK RP2 or M1 and M1 XEP are the latest version. As Amy had talked about earlier, be sure that you have the latest version of software in there. Obtain an account through the ELK RP2. Utilizing the ConnectOne dealer portal, activate a new account, input the cloud account ID obtained through the ELK RP2. Receive all programming data from the M1 panel into the ConnectOne application. Train and show your customer how to use the application, how to access it for all their devices, and again, explain to them how the interface will work from any web-enabled device for them. Just very quick summary. There's no upfront cost with the Connect One application, no license fees, no software to purchase, maintain, backup, update, and in any possible way. We take care of all of that. Multiple RMR streams. As we talked about, you can blend or let the customer manage the system or however you want to manage it. You can even charge additional fee for video verification. It's not inconceivable because that's a valuable service you're offering to your customers. Simplified customer support, because you can see all their sites from one location. That offers a much higher level of value to the customer. We offer you a free demo site, so that if you want to set your office up and demonstrate the Connect One application, you can load it up with camera, thermostats, whatever it is you want to do. We provide you, as you become a dealer with Connect One, a free site to be able to configure any way you want to be able to demonstrate the site to your customers when you go on a sales call. Or you have the option of the Smart Show that does not require hardware installation, be able to still show the system. Doesn't show specific video. It shows a video specific to that application, but not live video of your office. So that's kind of the difference between those two. Increased sales opportunity by offering multiple management options. Customer access through your customized login page. That's important when you're able to promote additional services or news or whatever it is you want to your customer. We offer you an employee discount to any of your employees in your organization that has a security system that wants to take advantage of the Connect One application. Will offer a discount. Provide stickier customers because of the value and the bundling ability to be able to manage their applications much simpler. And again, bundling the service all the way to multiple locations. We're also offering a promotion today for anyone on the call that we're calling a 30-60-90 promotion. And that's if you become a Connect One dealer within 30 days from today, all accounts that you activate within the first 60 days of receipt of the agreement will receive the first 90 days of Connect One service at no cost. Okay, it's a 30-60-90 application. It's a way to get you started and show the application without a lot of upfront costs, and an advantage to take advantage of ELK's opportunity to let us talk with you today. We'll extend that opportunity to anybody that wants it. And the email address, contact us at sales@connectedtech.us or our toll-free number at 866-976-3250. We will provide you with all the documentation, everything you need to have to review and become a Connect One authorized dealer.
One last thing that you, before we get into the questions, may want to take advantage of also is the opportunity to work when you're working with us. We provide training for your salespeople, technicians, whatever you guys need. We're here to help. So we like once you become a dealer of Connect One, we want to be used as a resource to help you sell more systems. Okay, Amy, I think the question portion is something that you have.
Okay, so we do have a few questions here. When notifications are sent, do they show us coming from Connect One or from our dealer name?
They come from your dealer name. The notification will have the individual dealer's identification on it.
Okay. Another question here. You show Hikvision cameras. What about their DVRs and NVRs?
No. There's information we're not able to retrieve from theirs at this time. It's the only DVRs that we're able to extract video and information from are the GANS Vision and the Exact Vision.
One thing, Amy, going back to the previous question is, one of the things that's really important is that we want Connect One to be viewed by the dealer's customer as the dealer's service. We're in the background. We have done presentations for dealers for the end user, but that's on a one-to-one basis, and we don't get into pricing. But as far as the application's concerned, We want this to look like the dealer's application, and we're in the background. We don't get in between the dealer and their customer base.
Okay, thank you for that. I've gotten a couple of different questions related to cost, and I do believe those questions are going to need to be addressed individually. That's not information that we're going to be able to provide in this public arena here that we're in with this webinar. So you'll be receiving some follow-up information from ELK and also from Connected Technologies, and so you'll have an opportunity to get that information through that follow-up. So just to elaborate a little bit on some of the commercial applications, or the non-residential applications, could you elaborate a little bit on benefits for, say, like municipal sites and schools, or like 24-hour fitness clubs, that sort of thing? Can you give it just to get the gears turning a little bit more on M1 and Connect One outside of a residential application?
Well, those examples you gave, Amy, typically have a fairly high turnover rate. We have talked to dealers that focus a little bit on school districts, and the school districts have the perfect application, or like you said, the fast food service. There's typically multiple locations involved with those, as well as a significant turnover rate. So being able to quickly access into those locations to make those changes, batch the users to multiple locations, as well as being able to view the locations on one screen has been very successful for the dealers that are using it in those applications. Typically we find that in school districts, it's being managed by, the data for the security is being managed by an office personnel, or maybe high-level maintenance personnel, and their technical computer skills are limited. And we get comments all the time on how easy it is to use Connect One and how much they like it. We did work for a owner when we were doing installations that had many Burger Kings, and not only were they excited about using it for the data changes, but also for the they were looking into it also for the energy management. Seems that these fast food restaurants have 4 or 5 rooftop units, and managing the temperature is usually controlled by the person closest to the thermostat and their comfort level, and management wanted to take that away from the individuals at the restaurant, and put that into and be able to control that through the headquarters. So and they found that the ROI on that was significant. So I think there's a lot of commercial applications where the M1 and Connect One can be very beneficial.
Another feature that stands out, Amy, you had mentioned school districts and maybe park districts and things, is that, as Mike said, might be an admin personnel in the corporate office or the administrative offices that's doing the programming, and a guy in the field, a maintenance person, may need access to a building for something. That access can be granted through that admin. She doesn't need to know where the keypad is, what color it is, anything about it, because of the easy use of the user interface. She can just disarm the building, or maybe an area of the building, depending on what that person needs access to, and allow access very simply without knowing a lot of knowledge about what's going on in the buildings that she's never seen before. So that's another advantage to it, as well as being able to see video in the event that something were to happen in that facility. They can log in quickly and see what happened. And then because the application is accessible through any web-enabled device, if that maintenance person or admin person, whoever is getting the notification, is at home, they can log in and perform those necessary functions from wherever they are, and still secure the facility or allow access, whatever is necessary.
Okay, thank you for that. If there is a loss of connection Is there some type of alert there? Can you elaborate on, just the topic of loss of connection?
I think that's a key point that you bring up there, Amy. We're focused on the data. We're not operating the system. If there is a loss of connection, the control equipment will still function as it was last programmed. By that I mean, if they had data changes and things like that, and they had no connection, obviously those data changes are not going to be inputted. But the person can still go home, arm the system. The access control will still work the same with all the cards that are programmed into the system. And when the connection comes back, that information obviously is held in the buffer of the M1 panel. And when the connection comes back, all that data will then be populated into the Connect One servers, as well as any data that was entered and maybe got lost because the connection was not there. That data will then also be inputted into the M1 panel.
Will you know that Connect One attempted and was unable to connect or to access the system? Will there be any kind of notification or alert of that?
Yeah, there'll be an indication of communication failure.
Okay. Another question here related to remote arming and disarming. Is it a live feed back from the panel? And I'm not sure if that question relates to video or something else. I'll let you make your own interpretation there. But the question is, remote arming and disarming, is it a live feed back from the panel?
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm asking about the delay. We're trying to interpret the question.
And maybe if the person that asked that question could elaborate on what it is you're looking for there, we can give you a better answer. So another question that's come in here is related to apps. Some of our installers are familiar with apps that you can buy and use to control a system. Do you have an offering similar to that? How do you compare? What benefits do you offer over just a standard app?
Well, a standard app works on typically a mobile device, where we work also through a PC. With the mobile app, some things are sometimes limited to offer. Our app allows you to not only have fast access to features, but also, should it be necessary to go into a full version on a smartphone, you can do that also. Obviously, the icons will be smaller. They have to be blown up. Where on the app application that we have for quick arming, disarming, unlocking doors, things like that, the icons are nice and big and they're easy to view. So the difference is, if I may want an app for the residence, that's sufficient. Like Sam explained, our essential package would be a simple arm, disarm, bypass zones, things like that. You could do that, but what happens if you want to say, and you're doing the owner of that home's business, and they have access control and things. So it allows for standardizing. Connect One allows for standardizing, where you do have the beauty of both the app and having a browser version that allows you to do all the functions.
And so that's going to be a very similar, if not the same experience, whether you're on like an iPhone or an Android or your PC, and so you're going to have that kind of seamless interface.
And then also the dealer site. I mean, one of the things that we focused on was the dealer experience also. When we had our installation company and we had a call from a Connect One customer, we're able to get right into that customer's account and be able to view exactly what's going on. Not only did it help for discussions on maybe a mistake, box that wasn't checked for some reason that the customer had some questions about that we could answer quickly, but also we could look at the system and maybe eliminate a service call, or if we had a service call, be able to supply that technician with the proper equipment to go out and service that instead of having to try to listen to the customer's description of what the problem is and try to decipher what they're talking about, because obviously we have our own lingo in the industry. And so this way we can get right in and see what's going on with our dealer sites. So that's another big issue. We get calls from dealers all the time saying how nice it is having the dealer site as far as for serviceability and answering questions from the customer.
That's great, thank you. Okay, so a little elaboration on this question. If you were to log in and see status and then arm the system, does the feedback come from the panel or the application?
The panel.
So that when you do something, it sends a command to the panel, and then the panel responds, and that response is what triggers a state change or a feedback in your application, whether it be on a computer or otherwise. That's what you're saying, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal.
Any other questions?
At this time, we do not have any other questions. We do have another moment or two, so if you have a question, feel free to go ahead and get that into us. It does look like, I've learned a lot from this presentation myself, and it looks like there's a lot of great benefits to adding Connect One to the M1 system. When you're looking at multiple areas or either multiple systems, and just having that seamless interface for not only the installer but also for the end user. The email notification goes well above and beyond what M1 can do on its own, and the number of notifications that it can be sent and the level of detail that's available, especially with the video and the snapshots. I mean, that's just a really incredible feature that I know we've had people asking for, so now I know exactly where to send them when they ask me for that. So I've learned a lot from this presentation. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to tell us what you've got going on, and we look forward to working with you in the future. And I'm sure a lot of the installers out there are feeling the same way that I am right now, as far as just being like, wow, I didn't know this was out there, or that it could do so much. So
well, as long as we have a minute, Amy, I would just share an example. We have a large ELK dealer that we're working with now that is a property manager. He manages multiple properties, and the users are typically they're vacation homes. So he manages all the properties for them while they're gone. He's able to log into individual sites without having to log in and out all the time. And the individual homeowners only see their site; they don't see each other's. And he's able to disarm a certain area of the building if maintenance needs to be performed. He's able to log in and see the temperatures if there's a problem. He gets the alerts in the event that something exceeds the program threshold. So it allows for that property manager to have more control over the properties that he's managing without ever leaving his chair.
So we did have another question or two come in, and we've got another minute here, so let's just go ahead and see if we can get through some of these. How do we configure the M1 XCP to work with Connect One? That's a really good question. It's actually a rather simple thing to do. There's not a great deal of configuration that has to be done within the XCP itself, really just the standard stuff that you're normally doing. The main thing is to make sure that you have the correct firmware, which is going to be a version 2.0 or later. And then there's just a screen within the M1 XCP setup. In our latest version of software, there's a new tab there for M1 Cloud, and that takes you to a screen where you obtain an account ID, and you go into through your dealer portal on Connect One and set up that account. So it's really quite simple to set up. You're not going to have to worry about getting into the router and doing port forwarding and working with an IT department and all that. So definitely a much easier experience than you may have with some other remote control options with the M1 that do require those things. So we can provide more detail on that either through ELK support or through Connect One support if you need help with that once you get started. But I think you're going to find it to be a very easy, very user-friendly experience. And
Amy, we're always here to help too. We can walk somebody through it and handhold them through it. It's simple, but the first time there could be some head scratching. So we're here to help on that also.
Okay. Another question here, is there any option for end users to deal directly with Connect One where there is no dealer involved with the ELK?
No.
Okay.
If we get a call, which we do from time to time from an end user, we find an ELK dealer in the area to service them.
We've had a couple of those recently, someone in California, and we forwarded over to the field person in charge of that area, and your website's very easy for us to be able to find the person that's, the area where the customer called from. We had another one in Tennessee where an end user had just bought a home, had an ELK panel in there, and somehow tripped over Connect One and wanted to use our application. It was forwarded directly over to a dealer.
Okay, that's great. We have run out of time here. We don't want to hold you longer than we said we were going to when you signed up, so we're going to go ahead and end the webinar at this point. You can see on the screen now the contact information for ELK and for Connect One, our web addresses and also an email address. If you do have additional questions, feel free to reach out to us. We are going to be providing a follow-up for you early next week. It will include a recording of this session, the PowerPoint that we used, and other resources, and you'll also have contact information there, so if you want to take advantage of the 30, 60, 90 promotion that Connected Technologies is offering, which sounds like a great promotion to me. You can get in touch with them and get that going. So thank you, Mike and Sam, for letting us know about Connect One today. It was a really informative webinar, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.